guys. Communication is the core of every business, so people to communicate, to share information, to develop or maintain a relationship, they should communicate with each other. But there are some obstacles of communication. There are diversity of expectation, cultural diversities, and also linguistic barriers. So these kind of things hinder communication effectively around the globe. And there was some survey by Forbes Insight among 100 US executives of large companies, and 65% of these executives believe that language barrier between management and other workers are hindering, and it's a big obstacle of efficiency. So the consequences of language barrier, 67% of them believe that miscommunication contributes to inefficiency, and 46% think that employees can collaborate effectively if there is a language barriers, and also, as we can see, a lot of people think that productivity will be slowed down, and also customer service will suffer. Because of a lot of companies, they don't operate in one country. They have headquarters or branches in different countries, and so they have to communicate with partners, customers, suppliers in different countries. So what's the solution of this problem? As the business now is becoming more global, and as I said, we have to communicate with people in different countries. There are coming questions. There should be one common language medium to communicate with such a people. So now English is a dominant language in business world, and so it's many companies use English as a corporate language for them. Because of competitive pressure, because companies operate not only their country, they should find suppliers, and they should find customers in different countries, in different markets. So without having common language policy, they can't. It's hard for them to do that. And competitors who have common language policy, they can have competitive advantages over the company. And also globalization of tax and resources. As I said, the companies can have branches in different countries, so the communication and changing information within these employees of different branches. It would be very difficult if they will not speak, they will not communicate in one language. So this also will help employees to get information in first hand if they communicate in one language. And also integration across national boundaries. Now more and more companies are getting together, they work together, there are a lot of acquisition and mergers, so, and this common language will help them to operate effectively. So what can do companies to improve these barriers? They should involve all employees in communication process, because some people who are not native speakers, maybe they can be afraid to communicate freely or to express their ideas. So the manager should create that culture that should involve all employees in these discussions or decision making. And also managers should they manage all these processes, yes, and maybe creating working groups and monitor the performances groups, and also they should gather information about these issues, and also they should follow these things. And also native speakers should accommodate to others. Sometimes they should change their communication behavior. Maybe they should speak more clearly, and they should change their vocabulary to be understandable to non-speakers, non-native speakers. And also non-native speakers also should comply these changes, and they should be ready to also to take these changes. They should follow these changes, and they should try to learn and to follow all group discussions or tasks. Okay, and there is an adoption framework by Zabel Nelly, who is a professor of Harvard Business School, and she worked on adoption process of the common language policy, and to do this adoption process quick and effectively is very important for companies. So, to do this, they should improve buying capacity in employees, which is they should explain the benefits of common language policy for employees and for company. And if employees understand, they will develop their skills also in case of language. And also they should hold meetings maybe regularly about the common language policy. And also there is a belief in capacity, which also we should do managers to make adoption process effectively. So employees should get trainings, regular trainings, and maybe a job rotation to adopt language easily. And also should foster positive attitudes of these kinds of changes, and they should also verbally, they should encourage employees that they can do, and they are able to do these things, and also encourage study habits. Maybe they can grant free time employees to learn foreign language, so this also will help them. So for us, as future managers and as graduates of international business school, so I think most of us will manage international multicultural groups. So for us, we should understand these kind of things normally, and we should in future do some things to do communication between our team more effectively, and how to do to increase productivity of our team. So now we can ask questions.
As you mentioned, it's very important for us as future managers to understand how to handle this. You kind of touched on how to implement it in a company as it goes global. Is it something, though, also that you believe should be considered in hiring practices when when deciding who to put in certain positions?
Yes, of course. Managers will try to hire people who knows the common language, but sometimes it's hard to find this kind of talent, and because now also competition to find a good talent. So maybe they can find a person who don't know very well. So they should implement the policy to adopt this kind of people to learn the corporate language. This is also a challenge for the company. Not all employees are one language speakers. Yes, and they can operate in different countries, and maybe they should look for local people. And so to adopt these people in corporate language, it should be strategy for the company.
Right. My question is half comment, half question. You said that the English is the common business language, etc. But in terms of people speaking globally English compared to other languages, it's not the first one. For example, Chinese language is the most people speak Chinese language. And with the current economical events that's emerging of China, and especially with the Chinese businessmen buying lots of properties in the Western world, do you think could it be any shifts from English to any other language as a business language in the future?
I think I don't think that Chinese is the must speaking language, because English is spoken by 1.5